Hey guys, Matt here, checking in the broken Supercoach. You would have seen my sort of initial team yesterday. Thanks for watching that if you did. If not, don't need to go back and watch it. Yeah, I've give it a like or whatever, but we're going to go through. I've made a lot of changes, deep dive. We've had a look, and I know I said in the last video the rookies sort of pick themselves, so it's a bit silly to do this, but yeah, we just love Supercoach, so that's why we do it. So, what if we changed? I told you Nick Dacos was going nowhere. Shuffled a little bit here, grabbed some mids that look, grabbed some rookies that look confident in playing. These, I'm happy with these four here. I don't know if Cowan gets a run. I do this every year with Ridley. I pick him. I hope that he's going to be 2019 Ridley. Probably won't be, but at 500k, he looked good in the preseason game. So that's allowed me to save a bit of money down here, which is what I like. And Dawson, I'm not going to get rid of. And same with Dacos. I like them. So that's the defense. In the mids, I've managed to assemble the dream trio. So Laird, Neil, Oliver. I would like to get McRae in. I can get McRae in if I wanted to for one of these three. Whether I go McRae for Oliver, because Oliver often starts the season pretty slowly. That could be a bit of that could be fake news actually. Let's take a look at that. That could be genuinely fake news. Yeah, it absolutely is. Sorry, don't listen to that. So we could go McRae for Oliver. I don't know. I think we might just have to not go McRae early. We've gone with the three big mids instead of Tom Mitchell. So we've gone Neil, Laird, Oliver, the three big mids. I think Laird will be always in the Crows midfield, and the Crows midfield plays seriously good footy for Supercoach. The Supercoach scoring rewards tackles, rewards pressure, and that's what the Crows do. So if I could try to get more Crows players in, I would, because I think they're going to be a good scoring team. But there's just not many options. So Oliver, Neil, I liked Hunter. Yes, I've been fooled into one game of Hunter. Sadly, Hopper's had to go, so Hunter could be Hopper or Hunter. We've only seen one look. I think I prefer a guy playing for Melbourne. Richmond players, a bit iffy on sometimes. You don't know. Unless they're true standouts, they seem to fade in and out their game style lately. Finn Callahan, I've put him in. I think he's a lock. I think whatever this guy's first name is, Cam McKenzie's an absolute lock. Will Ashcroft is a lock. I don't like Will Phillips, but he's on. Probably start Chincotta on if he actually plays. I don't know if he'll play. 100k, he's got to be in the team if he is. Chester's the same. Chester was pretty weak against the Crows, but if he plays, you've got to have him. Tunstall, 187. You know, it's a real guess over who you start over these three. Same with these two, Cowan, Constable. You probably put Constable on field over Cowan if I'm being really serious at the moment. The Rucks, we saw that change. Gawn and Marshall. Like I said, I'm not going to bet against Gawn ever again. It was a mistake last year. I accept that, and I'm never going to bet against him again. And Rowan Marshall, I think you can't afford to pay higher than 506 if you want to be serious, or 500 if you want to be serious in any other line. So you kind of have to take Marshall. You could go Cameron here as the second ruck, and I don't mind it because ignore this for a tick, because because you can get some good forward value. So if some more forward rookies appear, we will be in luck. I'm sort of doing rucks and forwards at the same time now. Madden, I don't think this guy's going to play at all. I want a loophole this year. Loop was too valuable with injuries last year. Having a Loop captain, it's far too valuable. And playing a lot of fantasy soccer, fantasy football, whatever you want to call it, fantasy Premier League, I found that not having a loophole on your captain, even though they all play at the same time or whatever, but there can be days across, is actually pretty frustrating getting the lock without using the loop. I think the loop is a big part of the skill. So having a loop there is good. And the same reason, if one of these two goes down, look at this guy right here. Darcy Cameron just slots in. We pull one of our other guys across. We get him across later if we don't have to trade Marshall. You know, Marshall's big for that sort of 1 week nickel sort of deal. And he's going to be full-time ruck, so we'll look at that. And I just rubbished him in the last video, but I think you have to have Connor Rozee. I didn't realize. Okay, so in my defense, I did not realize that Connor Rozee was DPP. I didn't know. And yeah, I'm a top 1,000 player. That's silly not to know. So, my bad. He comes straight in. At 500k, forwards, I said this last year, forwards only need to average 90 to be really good. Unless you're paying 600k for them, of course. Otherwise, these guys only need to average 90 to be a very nice forward score because they're on your forward line. And that you don't get many good scores out of your forwards, except for, historically Dunkley does really well. Martin early on when he was playing really well. There have been some exceptions to that. Bont when he was DPP for a while. Will Brodie obviously last year. There are exceptions, but realistically, you don't have too many guys scoring 110 plus in the forward. You're looking for that 90 to 100. So, yep, my bad. I got Rozee in, and I had to do a lot of shuffling to do that because some of these rookies are expensive. So, Taranto, yes, I know I just said I don't really like Hopper. I don't really like Richmond players. Again, Hopper's mid only and he's 300. It's a bit of a risk. Taranto, really like it. But I could still put Hopper here to save the money for Lockie Hunter. But I just liked what Hunter looked like. I thought he was a really good pickup. Darcy Cameron, of course. He's the backup ruck. He was brilliant for me last year. He's a boy, a true boy status. She's all sorry. Looked great. Pedler, Philippou, and Fergus Green. So we may not need to do too many trades there for the rest of, leading up, but we'll take a look as the green, or it's not even, I said green dots show up, but it's more as they announce them. They give the jersey presentations, they call the family over, that sort of nice stuff. So all of that goes along on the Twitter. So keep an eye on that. Fergus Green, like him. Other guys I've been thinking of, yes, Tom Stewart, I'd like to find a way to get him. But it's a real, this year is a real coin toss sort of year. So, it's Laird, Oliver, Neil, there's McRae and guys like that. It's probably Dawson or Stewart. It's probably, Gawn or English, things like that. There's not a lot of times where you can take and I've done a lot to get these three as and. So Laird, Oliver, Neil, and rather than or McRae or, Laird or Oliver. I think at the end of the day, what do I have left? 42k, so I've got enough money to do it. You could probably just trade out, say, a Hunter. If you hit this own, you can find Hopper. There he is. 330, save yourself a little bit of money. That gets me another 100,000 if I need 100 somewhere. I could probably turn Ridley into Stewart if I wanted to do that. Let's just do that, see how that looks. So I can do something like that, and then I can go Stewart, Dawson. I'll probably save the team like that, but it's probably going to go back because another thing that's important is if you've got a team looking like this and rookies are getting picked, and suddenly an extra rookie appears on a line that you weren't really sure of or you weren't really prepared for, then that's a mistake. That's going to be really tough because you're only working with 2k. You have to start fiddling with your premium. So I don't think I want Stewart and Dawson, but I can if I want Hopper. So it'll just be a trade-off of whether Dawson and Ridley is better than Hopper and what's his name? I've already forgotten the other guy's name. Hunter. So that's that. That's the new team. That's probably how it's going to go all the way through to next week. We'll do the green dots. We'll do a 5-minute confirmation type video. Cheers, guys. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, whatever, all that. Thanks a lot.